Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A quote of the day is whoever is kind, Allah will be kind to him. Therefore, be kind to man on earth. He who is in heaven will show mercy on him. Today, the topic of my presentation is international NGOs, and I am presenting it under the supervision of Professor Dr. Saira Afzal. Learning outlines of the presentation are introduction of international NGOs, focus of the international NGOs, funding of the national NGOs, criticism on international NGOs, and international NGOs on national level and recent updates. At the end of this presentation, participants will be able to describe about the international NGOs, their focus, funding, and NGOs and the international NGOs working at national level. Now, what is introduction? An international non-governmental organization or INGO is an organization which is independent of government involvement and extends the concept of non-governmental organization to an international scope. Aside from incorporation under national laws, no current formal legal status exists for international NGOs, which can lead to complications in the international law. The technical term international organizations describe intergovernmental organizations and include groups such as United Nations or international labor organizations, which are formed by treaties among sovereign states. In contrast, international NGOs are defined as any internationally operating organization which is not established by intergovernmental agreement. Now history. In 1910, the Union of International Associations were the first to suggest that a supranational status be given to international organizations with diplomatic intentions without governmental influence. The International Law Associations modified this, adding that supranational organizational status may be adopted for associations formed for no profit. An international NGO may be founded by private philanthropy, such as Carnegie, Rockefeller, Gates, and Ford Foundations, or as an adjunct to existing international organizations such as the Catholic or Lutheran churches. A surge in the international NGOs for economic development occurred during World War II, some of which would later become large organizations like SOS Children's Village, Oxfam, Catholic Relief Services, Care International, and Lutheran World Relief. The number of international NGOs grew from 6,000 in 1990 to 26,000 in 1999, and a 2013 report estimated about 40,000. Where do NGOs get their funding? To perform their typical activities, NGOs need funding. They receive funds through a combination of membership dues, private donations, grants, and loans. In addition to the activities that are outlined above, NGOs spend a lot of time and effort on securing needed funds, organizing fundraiser, applying for grants, and writing tenders all over help an NGO build, support, and fulfill their goals. Many NGOs are able to receive some funding from government organizations, but the NGO must remain independent. Legal designations and rules on how NGOs can use their funds vary from country to country. Many are under-resourced, so it is common for NGOs to join forces with other similar-minded organizations to make a bigger impact. NGOs are also often partners with the government departments and corporations. Now, notable international NGOs. In the Department of Health, there are different international NGOs for Department of Health, for children, for environment, and for human rights. And for health are Armed Health Africa, Doctors Without Borders, Gavi, the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, Malaria, Health Right International. These are some renowned. For children and youth, there are Compassion International, there are International Federation of Catholic Parochial Youth Movement Plan, there is Regio Children Foundation. That is a foundation states that its mission and aims are to recognize the potential and rights of children from birth and sharing educational values of the Reggio Emilia approach through dialogue with other countries and experiences. Last one is Save the Children International. SOS Children's Villages, World Association of the Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, World Organization of the Scout Movement, World Vision International, and ASICS. Now, NGOs for human rights are multiple. Some of these are International Rescue Committee, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative, Friends of People Close to Nature, Humanist International, International Christian Concern, International Federation for Human Rights, and Survival International. Now, NGOs for environmental protection are Greenpeace. This works as to stop commercial whaling. Commercial whaling is causing a decline in the world whale population. International POP's Elimination Network, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and Worldwide Fund for Nature. Now, focus of the NGOs. The main focus of the international NGOs is to provide relief and developmental aid to developing countries. Health related projects such as HIV/AIDS awareness, prevention and treatment, clean water, and malaria prevention, and education related projects such as School for Girls and providing books help to provide the social services that the country's government does not provide. International non-governmental organizations are some of the first responders to natural disasters like hurricanes, floods, or crises that need emergency relief. NGOs in general account for over 15% of total international developmental aid, which is linked to economic development. As of 2007-8, partly contributed to by international NGOs over the past 30 years, is estimated to have increased the annual growth rate of the bottom billions by 1%. Picture shows different international NGOs. Other organizations like the International Justice Mission are working to make judicial system more effective and legitimate. Still others, such as those promoting microfinance and education, directly impact citizens and communities by developing skills and human capital while encouraging citizen empowerment and community involvement. Advocacy of the unheard. Advocacy is the raising awareness of issues and bringing them into the public view. Most people in the world don't have a big platform of their own to draw attention to things like human rights violations. NGOs provide a platform by reporting on the issues, sharing personal stories, and educating the public. The goal is to promote and trigger action. The more people know about an issue, the more likely it is they say something is done about it. Amnesty International is a great example of this advocacy. They are considered world's largest grassroots human rights organization. Through actions like research campaigns, petitions, letter writing, Amnesty shines a spotlight on human rights issues. Researching and monitoring human rights abuses. Research and monitoring are essential tasks for NGOs. Using data, organization can track and analyze local, national, or global patterns of oppression. Human Rights Watch and Southern Poverty Law Center are the two examples of NGOs with a prominent research and monitoring role. Human Rights Watch was founded in 1978. It's the largest human rights organization based in the United States. They conduct fact-facing missions and publish research reports on human rights violations around the world. Since 1990, Southern Poverty Law Center has published an annual census of hate groups in the US. Promoting sustainable development. Another goal of the NGOs is this to address the issues like poverty, equality, climate changes, sustainable development is crucial. In 2015, the UN adopted a set of 17 sustainable development goals at the Sustainable Development Summit. In the years since, NGOs has emerged as a powerful leader in that area. The sustainable development field is diverse. NGOs work on investigating alternative energy sources, supporting local economic projects, and promoting gender equality. Providing aid to those who are suffering. NGOs can also take on humanitarian relief oriented roles. These organizations focus on bringing aid to those affected by armed conflicts, natural disasters, famines, and more. These include bringing water, food, medicine, clothing, and other necessities. Example, the International Committee of the Red Cross is a famous example. It was founded in 1863 and it was based in Geneva. It is mandatory to protect victims of international and national armed conflicts, prisoners, refugees, and civilians. The American Red Cross, a humanitarian organization, is led by volunteers and guided by its congressional character, and the fundamental principles of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement will provide relief to the victim of disasters and help people prevent, prepare for, and respond to emergencies. Another goal is working towards social justice. Social justice is only achieved when societies uphold human rights, assess participation, and equity. In the past, the term social justice was mostly referred to economics and wealth. The definition has since been expanded. Social justice now encompasses fairness in every sector of society, such as housing, health, and employment. All NGOs are invested in the social justice in some way, whether they are focused on healthcare access, freedom of expression, gender equality, or racial equality. No criticism on the NGOs. Given they are rarely supported by donations, a popular concern about international organizations is where the money goes and whether it is spent efficiently or not. High administrative cost can be an indication of insufficiency. Enrichment of the employees at the expense of beneficiaries, embezzlement or misdirection of the funds to corrupt local officials or dictatorship. Numerous attempts have been made to remedy the accountability of international NGOs surrounding where and for what their money is being used. Websites like Charity Navigators and GiveWell attempts to provide transparency as to how much goes to administrative cost, what activities money is spent on, and whether more donations would be helpful, and how cost effective the activities are compared to other charities or potential activities. Another criticism is that many of the people benefiting from INGOs have no way to influence those activities and hold the organizations accountable. For example, by threatening to withhold donations. Some charitable organizations solicit the participation of local communities to avoid problems that are related to intercultural competence and avoid unintended consequences due to lack of buy-in or lack of knowledge with local conditions. For example, in March 2015, the European Journal of International Relations criticized the impact of INGOs on government decision making, claiming they are slowing integration of development countries into global economy. Now, NGOs in Pakistan. Due to socio-political issues in Pakistan, there have always been a high number of NGOs working in the country to support the population. In 2015, a sweeping ban was implemented after the Interior Ministry alleged the Save the Children was working against the country. NGOs at national level, the top 6 NGOs are Easy Foundation, Ansar Bani Trust of International, Darul Sukoon, Silani Welfare International Trust, Chipa Welfare Association, and JDC Welfare Organizations. However, the international NGOs that are working in Pakistan, the top 5 international NGOs in Pakistan are Action Against Hunger, Gender Concerns International, Healthcare for All International, Islamic Relief Worldwide, and Transparent Hands. Explanation of these are Action Against Hunger. This international NGO The official numbers are never going to be accurate while describing the impact of hunger. So let's cut to the chase. There is no denying the fact that there are more than 1 billion people in the world right now who cannot afford a decent meal in a day. This is an alarming situation, as hunger always leads to other socio-political acts of negative nature. Minor and major crimes are prime example. Action Against Hunger is an organization that understands the gravity of situation. Since the last 40 years or so, this organization has waged a war against the curse of hunger. Malnutrition is the biggest challenge addressed by this international NGO. Currently, the international NGOs is operational in more than 47 countries, also in Pakistan. More than 21 million people were served by the NGO in the year 2019. Gender Concerns International. This is Netherlands-based international NGO in Pakistan and many other countries in the world. The organization believes that every woman has the capability of bringing about a change. However, the biggest hurdle countered is the lack of an organization that could support women aspiring to be the catalyst for change. Organizations that are respected and have the resources to support women are the need of the hour. Gender Concerns International envisions itself as one such organization. In a country like Pakistan, where women already feel oppressed, the work of this particular NGO is laudable indeed. Healthcare for All International. The health care sector in Pakistan needs a miraculous turn of events or change of fates. The depressing situation can be attributed to several different reasons. However, it is needed to praise the work of organizations like Healthcare for All International. The mission of this particular international NGO is to ease access to basic medical amenities in the third world countries like Pakistan. A particular emphasis is laid on the provision of medical facilities in the rural areas of the country. These facilities include the provision of essential drugs and free medical camps. Islamic relief worldwide. What's the best way of helping someone? Giving those cash, making sure the provision of groceries? No, the best way you can help someone is by empowering them with knowledge or skill sets of various sorts. This is exactly what Islamic Relief Worldwide believes in. While the organization does believe in helping out individuals on an immediate basis, the ultimate goal depends on their vision. And what is that? A world where communities are empowered and social obligations are fulfilled with empathy, afloat in the air in the society. Pakistan is one of the many countries in which this organization provides its services. The last one is Transparent Hands. Transparent Hand is the largest technological platform for crowdfunding in the healthcare sector of Pakistan. It offers a complete range of free healthcare services, including medical, surgical treatment, medical camps, and telehealth facilities to the underprivileged community of Pakistan. The platform provides visibility to underprivileged patients and builds a personal and trusted bond between patients and donors while ensuring complete transparency. It also sets up free medical camps in the rural areas of Pakistan, in which free medical consultation, free medicines, and free diagnostic tests are provided to the deserving patients. Donors from all over the world can use the Transparent Hands crowdfunding web portal and donate through 100% secure modes. They could select any patient, fund the treatment, and receive regular feedback and update until the patient has recovered completely. Now, coming towards the recent updates, an article published is International NGO and Primary Healthcare in Mozambique, the need for the new model of collaboration. Well, the explanation is based on the 3 years of participant observation in Mozambique. This paper presents an ethnographic case study of these relationships in one central province. The Mozambique experience reveals that the deluge of NGOs and their expatriate workers over the last decade has fragmented the local health system, undermined local control of health programs, and contributed to growing local social inequality. Since national health system salaries plummeted over the same period as a result of structural adjustment, health workers become vulnerable to financial favors that are offered by NGOs seeking to promote their projects in tough struggles with other agencies. The case study presented here illustrates how NGO model undermines the establishment of these relationships that are so vital to successful development assistance. Another article published is NGOs as development partners to corporates, child football teachers in Pakistan. This article presents the case of partnership between the supports goods industry, the Save the Children Fund, and the various international and local organizations in the district of Sialkot in Pakistan. The author uses this case in order to discuss the important elements of cross-sectional partnership, the consideration of the various parties that enter into such partnership, and the implication of this partnership with the corporate sector for the future NGOs and their vision of development. Now coming towards the MCQ session. First MCQ is the technical term international organization describes intergovernmental organizations and includes groups such as United Nations. These organizations are dependent on government funding. However, which of the following is the past least used by international non-governmental organization to get its funds? Option A is grants and funds. Option B, fundraising campaigns. Option C, government partnership. And option D, membership dues. Option C is the right one. Government partnership is the method least used by any non-governmental organization. Second MCQ is advocacy is raising awareness of issues and bringing them into public view. Most people in the world don't have a big platform of their own to draw attention to things like human rights violations. Among which of the following is the great example of advocacy of the unheard? Option A is Amnesty International, option B is Compassion International, option C Worldwide Fund for Nature, and option D is World Vision International.
A.
A.
Yes,
Amnesty.
A is the right answer. Amnesty International is the main example. Third MCQ is in 1910, the Union of International Associations were the first to suggest that a supranational status be given to international non-governmental organization. However, which of the following is the best explanation of an NGO? Option A is a for-profit organization with the goal of advancing the public good. Option B, an organization formed through government, a group of government to advance public good. Option C, a non-profit government advocacy group regarding advancing the public good. And option D is a non-profit private organization relatively independent from government whose purpose is to advance the public good.
D.
Yes, option D is the right one. Fourth MCQ is NGOs in general account for over 15% of the total international development aid, which is linked to economic development. However, NGO sector is playing its best role in which of the following fields? Option A in framing the police force, option B in framing some government laws, and option C in framing environmental policy, option D in framing international relations. Uh, Option C is the right one. In framing environmental policy is the best role. Fifth MCQ
I would
is
like to request to please mute your mics, especially those where there is some noise behind it. Only those who are answering the questions, please open your mic. Thank you.
Fifth MCQ is Karachi is a metropolitan city of Pakistan It is located. It is located near the coast of Arabian Sea. Ali wants to go to beach to watch blue whales, but he is getting disappointed for last 3 times because he couldn't find any on the beach. Which of the following international NGO is working to stop commercial whaling? Option A is World Vision International. Option B, Greenpeace. Option C, WWF Nature, and option D is Radio Foundation.
B.
Uh, yes, Greenpeace is the right one. This is the NGO that is working to stop commercial whaling. Sixth MCQ is Gender Concerns International is Netherlands-based international NGOs in Pakistan and many other countries of the world international NGOs working in Pakistan. However, the biggest hurdle countered for this organization to work is option A, women population is less than men. Option B is most women are having primary education. Option C, women on average have 3 children. And option D is motivation from one woman to the other is less.
D.
Yes, D is the right answer. The biggest hurdle is less motivation. Uh, Seventh MCQ is Transparent Hands is the largest technological platform for crowdfunding in the healthcare sector of Pakistan. It offers a complete range of free healthcare services, including medical and surgical treatment. However, they can get their funding from option A, Muslim countries, option B, US and UK, option C, all over the world, and option D, South Asian countries. Option C is the right one, all over the world. They can get their funding from. Eighth MCQ is children are a very important part of any society. There are about 73 million children in the United States that are making up about 22% of nation's population in 2019. Which of the following international NGO is involved in the recognition of children's right and potential from birth? Option A is World Vision International. Option B, Radio Foundation. Option C, WWF Nature. Option D, Red Cross Committee. Uh, Option B is the right one. Radio Foundation is the one that recognizes the children right and potential from birth. The ninth MCQ is the American Red Cross, a humanitarian organization led by volunteers and guided by its congressional character and the charter and the fundamental principles of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement is to provide option A, help of disasters, option B, providing food, option C is the relief from cold, and option D, Christian expansion.
A.
Yes, A is the right one. The main fundamental principle is help of the disastrous and provision of food and relief from cold. All these can come under the umbrella of Red Cross and Red Crescent, but the basic and main function is the help of disastrous. Human rights, 10th MCQ is human rights are norms that aspire to protect all people everywhere from severe political, legal, and social abuses. Which of the following is the largest human rights organizations that is based in United States and that conducts fact-finding missions and publish human reports on human rights violations around the world? Option B, A is Human Rights Organization. Option B is Poverty Law Center. Option C is Islamic Relief Worldwide. And option D is Transparent Hands Organization.
A.
Yes, option A is the right. This is the key. These are my references. And thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Isma. Very nice presentation.